Next thing I like to do is kind of give an overview of our varsity season and how we got to where we got to as a season. So we were 6-4 on the year, made it to the second round of the playoffs, and eventually lost to Walk-On at Walk-On. I'll get to that game later. Start the year, we started off with Dyersville-Beckman. Team coming in that we knew was going to be pretty good. We ended up losing 28-14 against probably one of the best opponents on our schedule. I thought we played them pretty tough for the most part. For being a week one game, we had some guys maybe in spots that we weren't sure of and that kind of thing. And they ended up being a semifinal team in 1A. Beckman did, made to the Dome. So that proved to be a pretty good opponent. We played with them. I think we were the second or third closest game they had all year. So we competed with them. Week 2, we went to DeWitt. Lost in a kind of a defensive battle, 14-7. Had some chances to put some scores up and I think win that game, but things didn't go our way. Had a couple turnovers that were costly, and DeWitt took care of the business that night. Then week 3 went to Maquoketa. We bounced back. Started a 3-game win streak and beat Maquoketa 30-15. Played really well that week. And then week 4, we opened up district play with West Liberty in a pretty crazy high-scoring game, 44-36. We had couldn't stop the Josiah Galvan. He had like 350-some rushing yards on us, but we got the W, so that didn't matter. We had a pick 6 by Garrett Schultz and a pick 6 by Tucker Dick Herber that kind of sealed the game and was the difference for us in that. Our kids just stepped up and made plays when we had to. West Liberty was kind of that team going into the season that we thought was going to be the team to beat in district, but they had some things happen and they weren't. But we took care of business that night. Next one, we went to Anamosa. We ruined Anamosa's homecoming for the second year in a row. Beat them 35-25, despite some questionable kneels at the end of that game by myself. I thought we'd have enough time to run the clock out by taking knees, and we didn't, and then they scored late off an onside kick. And just that was bad coaching. I'll take one for that. But we got the win, so it just didn't come back to haunt us. Next week we went to Monticello came and ruined our homecoming in a game that basically nothing went our way that night. Pretty much everything went their way, and they kind of trounced us 55-13, I believe was the final score. It was a game that we quickly tried to forget and flush, as they say. And then next week we had Northeast. So I remember Monday before practice, we watched film on Mondays, and in the film room, we kind of took it to we had some nice conversations, I guess you can say, with the team, Coach Graham and myself, and Coach Lawrence, and I knew right then after that conversation just the mindset of our kids, and I knew they weren't going to be denied going into Northeast, and we came out and just completely dominated that game. If we didn't have a couple of turnovers, we probably would have won 42-7 or 14, but we ended up winning 28-14. We kept our Battle of the Blue trophy that I don't plan on ever leaving Camanche. So we got to make sure, you young guys, we got to make sure as we're going through and juniors here that we keep that here, and they don't ever get to see that in their school. Then our last regular season game against Tipton senior night, we took care of business that night, took it to them right away, jumped on them early, won 34-14, and that win secured a home first round playoff game, and also we can call ourselves co-district champs, even though Monticello claimed that, but we had one district loss, and I didn't realize this until we went to Coach Graham got honored for the Assistant Coach of the Year, but the Iowa Football Coaches Association also honors ties in the district as district champs. So technically, We also would be considered district champs according to the Iowa Football Coach Association with Monticello. So I have the certificate at home to prove it too, by the way. So we can take that. So first round playoffs, Dubuque Waller comes to town. They came in with a record of 3-5. If I'm gonna be honest, there's 3 teams I thought we'd play in the first round. Dubuque Waller was one of them, and that was the team I least wanted to play out of the 3 teams we thought we'd play. And just because of the schedule they had, they played a bunch of 4A schools, and their district was pretty good. So really worried going into that game. And started out, I was even more worried because they scored their first 2 possessions of the game and we didn't. They're up 13-0. But our kids buckled down and we went off and scored 28 unanswered points and ended up winning 35-20. And it was probably, outside of those first 2 drives from Waller, it was probably one of the best overall game we'd played all year, and did a really nice job in that game. Guys stepped up and made great plays all day, all night. So then we get assigned walk-on the next week in round 2. We travel up to walk-on. Beautiful drive, by the way. If you've gone up there, you go to Riverside. There's a lot of nice sites and all that. But we went up to walk-on. Going into the game, we were seriously concerned about their run game. They just pounding the run on people, rushing for 400-plus yards against good teams. We came in. Coach Grimm had a great game plan, and we forced them to pass, which all their film, we're like, we have to force these guys to pass. We did. Their quarterback played the game of his life and just threw everything on a dime. We had too many turnovers. You can't turn the ball over against good teams. And they beat us 40-0. 40-0. I try not to remember that. But we lost to walk on in the second round. But outside of that loss, that loss didn't define the season that we had. Anytime you can make playoffs, get advance in playoffs is a pretty impressive season. I don't think not a lot of people outside of our program, our coaches and our players, I know parents here believe too, but anybody outside of our program, you hear just random community members going into this year, everyone's like, oh, I don't know how good you guys are going to be. There was nobody that thought we were going to be 6-3 and go to the second round of playoffs, but that's testament to these guys here in this room and these coaches. We just believe in these guys and they believe in what we're doing. And they put in the time in the off season to get better, to work hard, and to continue to have success here at Camanche football. Also, we had really quality senior leadership too, and a senior class that knows and does things the right way. And then when you have a class that does that, the juniors, the sophomores, the freshmen, they typically follow that lead. Okay, and our last 3 years we're 21-9, which is the best 3-year record since 1986 at Camanche. And that's a testament to this group of seniors and what they've done to put Camanche football on the map, and what these juniors, sophomores, and freshmen are going to continue to do to keep Camanche football on the map. They're going to continue to work hard, put in the time, get after it in the off season, and we're going to keep making playoff runs and keep grabbing trophies there that are in the front there and add them to our trophy case. So that's our season overview. Okay, quite a lot of stuff there to unpack, but go that route. Next thing I'm going to do, we got kind of some individual stuff we're gonna discuss and talk about. The first thing, okay, I think this is cool, we kind of rewrote our football record book the last 3 years here. So we have some individual records I'm going to read off, and there's a lot, so try to stay with me here. We actually had 34 different changes to our top 10 football record book in Camanche football this year. Okay, that's a lot. Okay, 26 of them were where players entered in the top 10 of the category, and 8 of them were where a player either is a current leader, whether it's season or career. So I think those are great accomplishments, and I think those need to be recognized. So I'm going to read those off. So it's a lot of a lot of stuff here. You're going to hear a lot of the same names too, but again, I want to recognize these guys for doing what they did. So second most passing yards in a season, 1,815 yards, Mike Delzell. We can clap after I'm done reading all of this. Fourth most completions in a game with 22 against Pete Waller, Mike Delzell. Fifth most completions in a game with 21, Mike Delzell. Fourth most receiving yards in a game with 150 against Pete Waller, Tucker Dickerver. Sixth most receiving yards in a game with 146 against Tipton, Tucker Dickerver. Tied for the fifth most receptions in a single game, and he did this twice this year with 10 receptions in a game, is Tucker Dickerver. Second most receptions in a career with 107, Tucker Dickerver. Fourth most passing yards in a game with 288 yards, Mike Delzell. Second most passing touchdowns in a season with 17 is Mike Delzell. Third most passing completions in a career with 286, also Mike Delzell. Third most receiving touchdowns in a season with 6 is Tucker Dickerver. Tied for fourth most tackles in a game, and he did this twice with 15 tackles, is Eric Kincaid. Second most tackles in a game with 20 is Eric Kincaid against Beckman. Tied for seventh most points scored individually in a season, that's a long one. 56 points individually is Eric Kincaid. Second most interceptions in a season with 6 is Tucker Dickerver. Third most rushing touchdowns in a game with 3 against Northeast, Eric Kincaid. Seventh most rushing touchdowns in a season with 9, also Eric Kincaid. Sixth most rushing yards in a season with 861, Eric Kincaid. Second most passing touchdowns in a game, 4, Mike Delzell. Fourth most touchdowns in a single season with 20, Mike Delzell. Tied for the second longest touchdown reception, 80 yards, Mike Delzell to Tucker Dickerver. Second most receiving touchdowns in a game with 3, against West Liberty, Garrett Schultz. Eighth most rushing yards in a game with 191, Eric Kincaid. And third most tackles in a career with 254 is Eric Kincaid. So that would be the records where people have entered in the top 10. Now our record holders, we have most receptions in a game, tied for most receptions in a game with 12 is Tucker Dickerver. Most receptions in a season with 77, Tucker Dickerver. Most receiving yards in a season, 1,000 yards, Tucker Dickerver. Most passing yards in a career, 3,911, Mike Delzell. Most career passing touchdowns with 37, Mike Delzell. Most passing completions in a season with 146, Mike Delzell. Most interceptions in a career with 12 is Tucker Dickerver. And then last one, tied for most touchdowns in a career with 42 is Mike Delzell. Yeah, we gotta hear that. So again, that's only, I think, 4 different guys, but a lot of records in there, and it's really cool to acknowledge for those guys. All right. Next thing we got is our academic all-district team here. So in order to get academic all-district, you have to be a varsity player. You can be a 10th, 11th, 12th grader. You have to have a cumulative GPA of 3.5 or higher. So cumulative basically meaning all of your semesters in high school. It's not just one, like the football semester, it's every semester totaled that they've been in school. And we had, the 5 years I've been head coach, this was the most kids we've had on academic all-district. We had 15 total kids make academic all-district, which is really impressive. So when I call your name, come out, there's a certificate up here that you can grab, and we'll go from there. So Mason Gritza. Mark Sanders. Jeremy Worsema. Josh Worsema. Luke Darcedan. His certificate got lost in the mail, I guess, so I'll get that to him on Monday. Congrats, Luke. Ethan Schultz. No, you see that. Josh Peterson. Gavin Farley. Zane Witt. Zach Irwin. Tucker Dickerberg. Eric Kincaid. Mike Belzell. Jason Johnson. Louis Marquez. That's our academic all-district team there. Next thing we got is the all-district football team. We had 9 members make all-district football. First one, honorable mention, offensive line, Louis Marquez. I should mention too, the all-district team, the district coaches meet. We met in Anamosa this year, and we basically are in a room together, and we're voting on these teams. So the first and second team are voted on by the other coaches from the district teams we played. So this is a good honor because it's recognized by other coaches and not just us here and what we think of our guys. So other coaches in our district recognize these guys' accomplishments as well. So it's good. Honorable mention, offensive line, Kate Jacobs. Second team defensive back, Eric Schultz. Second team linebacker, Adam Dunlap. First team offense utility, Ethan Schultz. First team linebacker, Eric Kincaid. First team safety, Tucker Dickerberg. First team offensive line, Nolan Pickett. We had first team quarterback and punter of the year, Michael. The next individual awards, they don't get certificates for these. The all-state ones, they might have been not out yet. But when I call your name, you just stand up or wave, however you want to do it. But we had some guys recognized in the Quad City Times All-Eastern Iowa football team. We had honorable mention offensive line David Jenkins. We had honorable mention offensive line Louis Marquez. Second team defensive back Garrett Schultz. Second team offense utility Ethan Schultz.